As always, our head coach's interview with Nate McMillan. I guess the first thing would be the status of Paul George and his availability tonight.
He's questionable for the game. He did go through shoot around this morning, went up and down a little bit to see how it felt. He is now warming up, and hopefully when I get back to my office, I'll get some good news.
Nate, this is one of those things that you've seen in your career. A coach, a player comes back to where he either played or coached. You had a great relationship with Frank Vogel. He brought you here to Indiana. You spent 3 years as an assistant. What's the emotion like for you? What do you think it'll be like for him?
Well, you know, this type of game, you want it to come and go. And when the schedules come out, it's the first game you look for to see when you go back. And, you know, he's had several weeks in this short season to think about it. And I'm sure it's been on his mind. And you want to come back and, you know, win. And you want your team to play well, but you want this day to come and go because it is an emotional time. You know, he's done a lot of great things here. He still has friends, a lot of friends here, and you know, this was an important place for him.
All right, let's stick with Orlando. Last night they went in Oklahoma City, 119-117, scored the most points they've scored all year, and they got a big boost from Serge Ibaka going back to OKC with 31 and hitting the game-winning shot. What do you see from this Orlando team?
That was a big game. That was a really big game for those guys to go into OKC. That group had been playing well the start of the season, and for Frank to take his team in there and really have control of that game, the entire game. He drew up an unbelievable play late in that ball game for Ibaka to isolate and hit the game-winning bucket. But his team plays solid. They're a big physical team with Ibaka, you know, really trying to establish that paint. Their guards are very aggressive. They're solid defensively, and you know, they play hard for 48 minutes. So this is, if there's a way you want to come into a game like Indiana, coming back for the first time, they're riding high, they're feeling good. They'll be ready to play, and as I told our guys, we need to be ready to play tonight.
All right, Nate, finally about your team. You've not had Rodney Stuckey for the last 8. You didn't have Paul George on Saturday night. I know you don't like to have injuries, but have you seen some things from some guys that you've had to play that you like?
Yeah, well, you know, it's next man up anytime you're faced with that situation, and we've really been faced with that, you know, most of this season with Rodney being out. Aaron Brooks was out a couple games. CJ came started slow. But as a group, you know, I think what has happened to us in our losses, just some self-inflicted things that are happening. We have to do a better job of executing down the stretch, getting stops, executing our offense. We're turning the ball over. At times we're trying to do it by ourselves, and we're forcing the issue. So we just need to settle down, execute our offense, move the ball, share the ball, defensively really scrap to win the hustle game, because those are plays that down the stretch you lose the game by 1 or 2 points. You could have won that game.
All right, best of luck tonight, Nate.
Thank you.
All right.